Well, I'm sitting here this afternoon. Who knows this guy? Jack Newton at ClioCon.
Glad to be here.
There wasn't a ClioCon, 18 years ago.
No, we're this is our 13th year. So you were at the first one. Started off in a pretty humble beginning, 230 people or so at the Hotel Saks in Chicago.
I have to tell you, I thought you guys had lost your mind. I thought
you were not alone. There was a lot of people that thought I'd lost my mind, including my wife, when I said I wanted to start a conference in addition to running a fast-growing software company.
Yeah, who's going to do
It's not
that?
for the faint of heart.
Well, you mentioned Tanya, your wife. This company has grown into something that's bigger than probably anybody's imagination, including all of ours and your families. What's it like to raise a family? Because you have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So I had my first son, Ian, the same year we started Clio.
Yeah, because I remember I saw pictures of you coding with him on
That's
your
right.
shoulder.
So this is one of the famous photos from the Clio archives, but a picture of Ian curled up on my shoulder with me at home, right after coming back from the hospital.
Right.
Back to coding Clio and working on Clio. And so it's really been an incredible ride. And even though 17 years sounds like an incredibly long time, in that time I founded Clio, I had Ian, and then a year and a half later, Patrick, and then 2 years later, Isla.
Right.
So we have, 3 kids, pretty rapid fire succession. We moved from Edmonton to Vancouver. And, in the last 17 years, Clio's grown to this incredible success. So the last 17 years of my life just feel like they've been on fast forward. It just feels like it's gone by like that. And it's been so much fun. It's been so rewarding, but it's gone by in a blink of an eye.
What do you think it's like for the kids where their dad is this involved in a business, even involved in all this travel and everything that you do?
Yeah. I mean, for one, Tanya is, the most supportive and incredible wife and partner I could ever hope for. She's just always, managed the kids despite the fact that I'm on the road a lot and obviously very involved with the business, and it's demanding building a company like Clio.
Right.
But I've always tried to strike what I would consider a healthier than average balance of work-life balance while building Clio. If I'm in Vancouver, I'm home for dinner. Barring a board meeting or something that takes me away from home, I'm at home for dinner. I'm present. I try to engage with the kids, and I really try to make a lot of quality time out of my family time.
When as a CEO, I'll see it sometimes where you say, well, this is the way it is. But is it your responsibility, or you just see it naturally that you might be seeing what is 4 or 5 years ahead, where maybe other people may not see everything that you see?
I think that is the defining characteristic of a visionary product CEO. And I think what you need to have as a founder CEO to build, I think, a category changing company is a clear vision of the future that exists in 4 or 5 years that to you just feels inevitable,
right?
That the rest of the world doesn't quite see yet. And you need to convince others that you're right and hire them and bring them on board and help you build that thing. And in 2007, 2008, when Ryan and I started Clio, to us is just inevitable that the cloud was going to be the dominant computing platform, and that all of these on-premise systems were going to be left behind in favor of a cloud-based system. And that's where we had so much conviction around Clio. And, again, I think we saw 5 years in the future and really clearly what that future could look like and tried to bring it to life. And, what I unveiled in the keynote yesterday, to me, is inevitable in terms of what the future of work will look like in legal, and how we can combine these incredible assets from VLex and Clio. And one of the reasons I had so much conviction around this VLex acquisition is I could see that this is the future. This is inevitable. And if we make this happen, we're going to be the only company in the world that's able to put these pieces together and create this future. And so absolutely, I think, if you talk to, any founder that's built anything incredible, I think they'll tell you nobody believed me, or very few people believed me when I pitched them on this idea. you'll hear they heard no from 1,000 VCs because none of them believe in that idea.
Because I was thinking about it during your keynote. I go, you're seeing things that not everybody can see, and maybe not even everybody on your team can see, but they believe you.
Oh, not everyone on my team saw what I saw with this VLex acquisition. I really had to spend a ton of energy articulating this vision. And even for people on my team that are deep in this stuff every day, it took a little while for the light bulb to go off. But everybody, and then for some people, they said it wasn't until I saw the dry run of the keynote and I saw what this can do, the light bulb went off, and I said, holy shit.
You did a great job on the keynote.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just the I don't know if cadence isn't the right word, but just the way it all came together. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's a team effort. I've got to recognize.
I know you didn't
an
just sit there
entire
and
team.
get out a pen and paper.
Well, I mean, it started off with a Google Doc, and I laid out my thoughts for what I'm going to articulate in this keynote. But then we've got this incredible team: Danielle Giroux, Sasha Heron, Carrie Elsner. We've got this incredible team of a dozen people that get together and work on everything from the product marketing to the visuals to the product story. And then, of course, we've got this entire team of R&D people building the actual thing. So just the amount of work that went into positioning me, and I feel very honored to be the one on stage telling this story. But this was, a couple of thousand people at Clio and VLex pushing super hard over 3 months, if you can believe it. We announced this deal in July 1st. So 3.5 months ago. And in that time, we said, go. We have a clear vision of what this opportunity is. Let's go build it. And the whole team has been running full tilt to make this a reality. There's and everybody in the company, from our legal team to our finance team to the marketing, product, R&D, everybody, the customer success team preparing for multiple new products launching at ClioCon. So the keynote, I feel like, was the culmination of, what is probably millions of hours of work.
They're pumped. People are really, really pumped. I mean, from my tiny little world, I mean, I'm doing an agreement with Ed Walters to get the content from our blogs over into VLex. And we're talking, and then you guys announce it. And I go, Ed, I said, this thing is so small, it doesn't mean anything. So let's just have that go through. But it was cool for me when you put up work and you showed how it works. Here's how something comes in the morning. Here's how it's going to lay out. Here's this little thing. Oh, and there's a little blue dot over on the end, and it was Robbie. He goes, hey, that's a source. I said, you're right. A source could be content coming in.
That's right.
From practicing lawyers. And
That's right.
I said, it can come in from a blog. It can come in from an individual article. I said, but the AI will be able to identify what's appropriate to bring involved in front of that.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And just this idea that I think what we're unlocking with VLex, there's a lot of the discussions around Vincent and what Vincent unlocks from an AI perspective, but the data that we're bringing to the table with VLex, whether it's docket alarm or whether it's the data feeds that come from so many different sources, this ability to integrate data and then have action and AI-driven actions that get executed thanks to this data, that is a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, what people will be able to do for small firm lawyers is be able to publish. I mean, so imagine somebody saying, okay, instead of looking for content marketing, I'm actually publishing as a thought leader. Somebody's going in working on a particular matter, and all of a sudden this article that I've written on a particular thing because I have a niche expertise, somebody's going to discover me.
That's right.
And use me.
That's right.
and it won't be on like yellow page type of advertising marketing. It will be real thought leadership.
That's exactly it.
And what you've done is democratize the ability to be a thought leader in a small firm, because most people were not given that opportunity.
That's right.
And it's right in the middle.
And I think you look at the trend line of everything that's happening in the world right now, and with what's AI is manifesting is, I think, so much of what used to be something that only mid-market or large firms could do is being democratized. And the smallest solo firm with a bare naked solo can do all sorts of incredible things, whether it's becoming a thought leader or leveraging AI to manage their intake process in a much more effective way. So this, I think you're right. When people saw, that keynote and saw what's possible, it's like it's not just a glimpse into what's possible in the future. It's here, and it's really exciting because it changes the game.
Yeah, for me, it was exciting. This is the first time that I felt, okay, I'm fired about actually this Clio thing.
You're finally bought in.
I knew I bought in from the start, but I actually found that I may have had a part in
Maybe
it.
you'll go back to practicing. This looks great.
I go, this is cool. What's going to happen? Then I spent some time talking with.
It is cool. It is cool. I think there's.
Talk with Phil. I talked to Damien. I tried to understand how this all works. The stuff coming through. Can we go get more articles, more content? How do we get this stuff fed in here so that the lawyers understand they have an opportunity to now participate?
That's right.
In this,
Absolutely.
Because you are the first company on any scale. I'm not even sure the other duopoly have done it at all, that have recognized the thought leadership coming from individual lawyers, whether they're one person shop or whether they're in a firm with 2,000 lawyers. And then that content is going to be appearing where other lawyers are working in that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's this unlock that we're executing here that is going to change the game and change the landscape. It's really exciting.
How's the running going? How many years now?
27 years in a row. It's going well. The toughest run this week was the 4:30 a.m. run yesterday before the keynote, which my body was still on Pacific time, so this felt like 1:30 in the morning to me. But what has become a ClioCon tradition is me going on a run with Ed Walters from Fastgates. This started years ago. I think it was probably our 10th annual morning ClioCon run, but he's joined me for that keynote run for many years in a row now.
Yeah, I heard you were out. Yeah, I mean, when I met you the first time, it was at a coffee shop, it was a Starbucks in New York. You had not launched Clio, and we were comparing watches that we ran on.
Yes,
that was the first time. I said, how many years you've been running? And you said how long? And I go, what?
I think I had a Garmin 305 at that time. Yeah. Took up half my wrist.
Then we started to talk about running, and people said, "Well, you met Jack Newton?" Yeah, what'd you talk about? I said,
running.
Watches.
Did you talk about his new legal tech company? No.
The next time I met you was in I think Montreal.
That's right.
We were at some dinner.
Yeah.
Got to talk to you. You go, let's go have a beer in the Air Canada lounge.
Yes.
That's what makes your company great, and the people that you hire are incredible people.
They are.
The values, the culture.
It's an incredible company made up of incredible people, and I feel very lucky to have built this team. It's a team that can do anything they want to.
Who did I talk to earlier today? Was it Chris?
Chris Stock?
Yeah. Awesome guy.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah. He
in all aspects.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just a great guy. And everyone cares deeply about the mission. Everyone cares about our values. They care about our customers and making their lives better.
Oh, yesterday I talked to I think it was CJ. It works in the Finn area. And he goes, this is the law. This is really important in people's lives. He goes, it's a lot different than working for a credit card company.
Yeah. And that's what people want to, well, JJ talked about this in his keynote yesterday. Did you?
It was awesome.
It was an awesome keynote. And I thought, he talked about even, people in prison need a purpose and something they're building he talked about somebody taking their bachelor's degree, even though they were on death row. And, I think this idea that the work you do matters. And, when I think all of us look back on our careers, we want to have a legacy of saying, hey, we built something that mattered and we impacted something that mattered. And when we, are able to recruit these world-class people at Clio, it's because they're looking at, where can I go? I can go into technology. I want to be in technology. But if I can work at a company that is impacting access to justice, if I'm working at a company that's impacting lawyers that are doing this really important work, and again, JJ talked about ripples and this indirect impact you have. Our team just takes a huge amount of pride in the way that our platform gets used to deliver justice, and the regional awards that we celebrated last night, the spotlight being shone on those customer case studies. Our team takes a huge amount of pride and gets a huge amount of energy out of those stories.
Yesterday I could feel that maybe what you're doing is going to reach that audience that doesn't get served in the law, that latent audience out here,
right?
That because many times when I would hear it, I go, yeah, but are we ever going to be able to make that dent? I keep hearing it every year, and we don't make the dent. But yesterday I felt that what you were saying with what we can do with artificial intelligence, it doesn't deploy every answer, but it moves things along so much faster so that lawyers can deliver.
I really do believe it's the unlock.
And I could really sense your belief yesterday as you described it. Other thing I wanted to ask you, I mean, as a CEO of a company, you're busy on a lot of different things, but you're also involved in social media directly. I mean, it's not somebody sitting there looking for, it's, oh, there's something that says Jack's name. We better put something in for him. You're there. You see it.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Just in your normal day, it's just fall into what you do. You look down, you see something.
Yeah. I mean, like I try to be very approachable, and part of what I think has driven Clio's success is the fact that people feel like there's a real human being behind it.
Yeah, there is.
And so if somebody tweets, at me, and even if it's to complain about the product, it doesn't do X, Y, or Z, or had a frustrating interaction with your customer support team, or whatever the story might be, I will respond to that, and I'll escalate it to my team, and I'll make sure they get taken care of, because people want to know that there's somebody listening at the top, and that's kind of my approach, which is I'll do my best to plug into LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, Instagram. I'll share what I'm doing and try to engage with people. And I think it just creates a sense of approachability, and helps create proximity too, where I want customers to know, regardless of how big or small they might be. I'm there.
It has a big impact. So even just for me, if I put something on, I don't even mention your name, and all of a sudden I see that Jack Newton liked it or commented on it, that actually makes me feel worthwhile. I know that sounds silly, but you're up here and you've got a lot of things going on. You're influencing a lot of people. You have a lot of, I don't mean followers like, social media followers. I mean people that believe in their convictions. That's a big thing. Or if you make a comment about things, it's great to know that you're listening.
Yeah.
And if I was trying to figure out for 3 or 4 days what I was going to say about, the acquisition.
Oh, that was such a touching piece.
Yeah. And I go, I don't want to just say it was acquired by this amount of money or this type of thing. So then I started, what do we, I know Jack likes values, and he likes people working on the same mission and values. What these people stand for as people. And that's what I thought about. And that's a lot, because you're out there having a presence.
Yeah. Well, it was a really touching perspective. And, there was a lot of ink spilled on that acquisition. And your piece was the one that was sent to me most frequently, as people saying, this is really special and you should be proud that Kevin wrote this.
Well, I mean, it was Bob told me to get an airplane. I'm like, I can't travel anywhere. Jill just died within the last month or two. Walk into a bar in Chicago where you guys were clearly supposed to be. Tanya waves her hand over.
Yeah.
And I go in a booth and cry on her for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was a story I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And so then you realize, okay, these are real people.
Well, what you meant, for all of the transactions and details and dollars involved in something like VLex and Clio, at the end of the day, it's really about human beings. And, not just the fact that it's Ed and Phil and Luis and Angel and me and Ryan coming together in a new combined company, but even when you look at like how we won this deal, because it was a competitive transaction. We also won this deal because of the kind of people we are.
That's what I've heard.
You know, one of the it just shows you how important that is in business. It's not just a ploy. Like, if you're a good person that follows through on what you say you're going to do and stand by your word, and you do that consistently and repeatedly and show through your actions that you're that kind of person, it engenders a huge amount of trust.
Right.
And that's how you end up getting these transformational deals done, because you've built this reputation, and you show you listen, and you show you care. And you know, again, it's just your actions accrue over time into, you know, a reputation. And at the end of the day, that's what the only thing that matters. And it's human to human connection that ends up helping transactions like this happen. And that I think is what you characterized so well in that piece. Is
well,
this,
I mean,
this
Ed used to call me up and say, "Hey, it's Ed, Kevin, how you doing?" I said, "Ed, you don't need to call me all the time." He goes, "Oh, I just want to say hello and talk."
Yeah.
And yeah, these are little things, and you still do little things. You know, the things on social media where you might comment in or reshare it. It makes people feel worthwhile being part of this ecosystem that you've created.
Yeah.
So
And it's a
kudos to
community.
you.
It's a community.
It's very much a community.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate
Darren.
it.
It was great chatting.